Delighted to be joined by our main event on Saturday night, Kane Salvin and Connor Coghill. Gents, it's fight week, 3 days to go. New venue, sold out show now, all tickets gone. I'm going to start with yourself, Connor. How has camp been so far now we've arrived in fight week?
Camp's been brilliant. Yeah, it's gone according to plan. Put the work in. Weight's been perfect. Sparring's been perfect. So yeah, it's been going well.
Yeah. That's the same question to you, Kane. How has camp been?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Obviously, we've been back from Lanzarote now, about 3 weeks. Got all the sparring in we needed to do. Everything's ready to go for Saturday night now.
Connor, first title you'll be competing for. Why do you feel this is the right step in your career at this point to take the title fight?
Because I'm not getting any younger, am I? And I should have had this opportunity 2 years ago before COVID. So it's just a case of just getting the big fights now and getting the titles and moving up. And I've got to do it. I've got to start doing it now and pushing on. I don't want any soft fights after this.
Well, I've had the chance to obviously come and speak to yourselves, promoting the fight and stuff like that. Connor, Kane has said in interviews with myself that he feels that he will stop you in the later rounds on the night. I just want to kind of hear your opinion on Kane saying that and in his beliefs towards that.
I haven't got an opinion. He's entitled to his own opinion. He's getting in the ring with me. If he thinks he's going to do that, then let him think that. You know, it's not going to change my mindset.
Kane, Connor feels that there's no pressure on himself on the night. This is more of a make fight for himself. He feels that he's going to push on after this fight. Do you feel that this is a make fight and not necessarily a break fight for himself, for Connor?
There's pressure on both of us. It's like he said, he's not getting any younger. So he really needs to start trying to move now if he's going to do anything, doesn't he? So, like, it's one of the things, come Saturday night, we're both in there, we're both going to get his job done. He knows his game plan, I know mine. It's all going to come down to Saturday night.
A question for the both of you now, really. How do you feel your styles will collide on the night? Like you said, Kane, you're more of a front foot fighter. You like to be on the front foot. Connor, on the back foot. I want to kind of ask yourself, we'll start with Kane. How do you feel that the styles will collide on the night, Kane?
I think our styles will suit each other. I think it'll be a very exciting fight. Just where we both box and that. Connor does like to commit every now and again. So I can see us both having a good fight on Saturday night.
Connor?
Yeah, I mean, I've had to tweak a few things. Don't get me wrong. So my styling going to be the same as I usually fight. I've had to tweak things to suit the 10 rounds. I've got a few different things that I've worked on in sparring and in the camp. So it will be a good fight. It'll be an entertaining fight, but at the same time, it's not going to be a fight that I usually have.
Kane, coming off a loss, like I said in your last fight, there will be maybe slightly some demons knowing that you have come off a loss. Do you feel that there will be any demons on the night, any nervous energy going into a huge central area fight?
There's always nerves. It's like I say, the loss happened. It's one of the things last time I were out. But like I say, we've learned from it, come back. I'm going in a big title fight now. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm in a title fight. We're a decent opponent. We need to get the job done on the night.
Kane only being 22 years of age. Connor, you're more 27, 28. You're coming into the prime. Kane, you're still young in the sport. Kane, you've fought for a central area title. Connor, you've had 12 fights. I'm going to ask the both of you this question. I'll start with Connor. Connor, who do you feel has more experience going into the ring on the night?
I'd probably say it's par. To be fair, it's like a sprinter and a marathon runner doing 10 mile. You know, who do you pick? Do you pick the one that's going to be fast at short distance? Do you pick the one that's going to be faster at long distance? It's that kind of fight. He's won the title at 10 rounds, so he's done them 10 rounds. He's a long distance fighter. I've not, but I've had more fights. I've had tough fights, but I've had more fights. So the experience is probably on par.
Kane?
Yeah, to be fair, I totally agree with Connor. Like I said, I've had a lot less fights, but I've been in central area title fights. It's the first time doing 10 rounds.
Kane, do you feel that'll benefit you massively on the night, knowing you've been in there for a central area title fight, you've done 10 rounds? Do you feel that will give you the edge on the night, knowing that you've already competed for a central area title?
But it's just a bit more experience in that 10th round that I've got. It's like I say, Connor's never been to a 10th round. So it's just that little bit more experience than that I've got in this particular fight.
Connor, like you said, Kane said there he's been in them 10-round fights. Have you done anything differently in training, knowing that the rounds are going to be stepping up and you are in a 10-round fight?
Yeah, so like to get used to the 10 rounds, we've been sparring 2 different sparring partners. You know, one doing 6, and then the other one jumping on the end and sparring for longer rounds. You know, we've been doing 10, 12 rounds in the spars. Stuff added at the end of it. So yeah, I think I know the fitness is there for the 10 rounds. That's not a problem. I don't think there's going to be much difference, to be honest, in me fighting in an 8 round or me fighting in a 10 round.
Connor, I know that we've spoken. You said that you feel that there's not a lot of pressure on yourself. Like you said, there will be a lot coming from Hull. There will be you've done. There's a lot of people coming from Hull, and you are the main event. You are the star of the show, kind of. Do you know what I mean? For a title, will you feel any added pressure on the night?
No, I mean, I fought in my hometown in front of 450. Well, I sold 450 tickets. That's without the other lads that sold tickets, and I topped the bill there. So there's no pressure on me in terms of who's there and being the star of the headline. I've headlined in Hull in front of 1,000 people, so it's not. There's no pressure in that sense. Don't get me wrong. There's probably a little bit of pressure in terms of like I need to be pushing on to other titles, but it won't stop me regardless of the result. Straight after this fight, I'd want an English title shot, regardless. You know, I know I'm 27 now, and I ain't got long in the game. I've probably got 5-6 years, something like that. And I want to be in the big fights. To get in the big fights, you've got to start pushing on for titles and fighting kids with good winning records. You know, I need to start doing that. So I won't get that unless I win on Saturday.
Kane, on to yourself. Like you said, you're only a baby in the sport, and you've already fought for a central area title and won a central area title. Like you said, when we spoke, you like taking high-risk fights. What do you see necessarily in Connor that makes you think that you'll beat him on the night?
It's one of those things that I said, there's a few things that we've seen, there'll be a few things that he's seen, nothing that particularly stands out where this is the only thing I can do. Like I said, he's tweaked things in his camp, I've tweaked things in mine. So it comes to whose game plan's better, aren't I? And it's going to be an interesting fight. I think he's had 12 fights, he's unbeaten. He ain't no idiot getting in there. I know I'm up against a hard opponent. But I've been up against hard opponents before. My first central area title fight was against somebody that were unbeaten. So coming up against somebody unbeaten in old new to me.
Connor, I'm going to quickly ask you about obviously Kane's recent fight, and if you've had a chance to watch his recent fight where he did come out with a loss. Have you had a chance to watch back that fight, and what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I got it sent to me actually. I've watched it. Yeah, it wasn't many rounds though, so it doesn't show a lot. But the things that I have shown, I've took on board. The things where, look, I don't just watch Kane's loss and put that in my locker and work on that. I look at Kane's wins. I look at my losses. I look at my wins. I look at the opponents I've fought that are similar to Kane. I'm quite although I train hard, I live the life, I'm professional, I do it full time, I've got some great sponsors. I also study boxing, so I spend most of my day studying, watching things and learning. I've also watched Ryan Rhodes' fights back and forth. He's a southpaw similar to me. I know he's going to be teaching Kane how to beat a southpaw. And I've watched these fights because I know whatever Ryan Rhodes was getting taught, he'd be passing down to Kane. So I took a little bit of that as well. You know, things like this, like boxing's a game of chess, and you've got to be smart and you've got to be clever. And I think that you've got to take every little bit of advantage as you can, and that's what I've been doing for the last 8 weeks.
Kane, like I said, Connor's unbeaten, but he has had some struggles in a recent fight where he got put down. Have you had a chance to watch that fight, and what's your personal opinion on that fight?
Yeah, it's like Connor just said. I've not just watched his last fight where he had a real tough fight and he ended up going down twice. I've not just watched. I watched other ones where he moved and boxed and looked brilliant all the way through it. Because at the end of the day, like I say, his style is a very awkward boxer. But like he said, he's watched me. I've watched him. It's different when we're both in there together.
Brilliant.
It's going to be different on the night.
Brilliant. So I'm going to ask you both now the same question. Connor, how do you feel that you beat Kane Salvin on the night?
I don't want to say.
Keeping it quiet.
Cards close to my chest.
Kane?
Cards close to my chest.
Kane, I'm asking you the same question. I know that you've been quite vocal about it. You said you feel like you're going to stop him late on. Is that kind of the same thing? You still sticking by that?
Yeah, that's what I'm sticking with. I've said it from the start, and I'll keep carrying saying it, and I'll prove it right on Saturday night.
Brilliant. Gents, do you feel we'll have a barnstormer of a fight, like you said, both different styles? Connor, how do you think the fight will kind of play out? What type of fight do you reckon it will be on the night?
I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. I think there's going to be stages of a war. There's going to be some skill. There's going to be a bit of everything. I think the two styles that clash. I think it's going to show a bit of everything.
Brilliant. I know that you've had a good amateur pedigree, Connor. You've been in with everyone in the amateurs and stuff like that. Do you feel that you do everything better than Kane, and that's why you'll win on the night?
It's different. It's different. Look, I'm not gonna sit and say I do everything better than Kane. I'm not that type of person. I'm not like that. I'm quite humble. I think there's parts of the way I box that's better than Kane, but at the same time, he's probably got parts that's better than me in them long distance fights. But you haven't seen me in the long distance fights yet, so people say, "Oh, it's 10 rounds. Is he going to do it?" Blah, blah. Nobody's seen me in the gym. No one's seen me in these spars. You know how composed I am and how turned on I am in the 9th and 10th round. I look good. You know, and I feel good. And people haven't seen that yet because I've not been in there doing it. If you look at the fight where I got hurt and I was hurt to the body twice. I was hurt. I got caught with a body shot. It took the wind out of me, and I couldn't recover from the first one. Going into the second, I made massive mistakes in that fight, leaving myself open. I've worked on it for the last 8 weeks to make sure that it's corrected. It's never been a problem. Can't land a body shot on me now. And I was hurt in that fight. It took all the wind out of me, but I was still so fit in the 7th round. Look how many punches I threw in the 7th round. How every punch, I was putting stuff behind it. I was moving on my feet. I was making him miss. Now, that was in the 7th round, and it was a breeze. I felt like I could have done another 4. So in terms of the long rounds, no one's seen me do that yet. But they will do on Saturday night.
Okay, do you feel...
If it gets that far.
Kane, do you feel that maybe Connor was maybe looking for a way out in that fight, or he showed a bit of grit and determination to get through it?
Oh no, he definitely showed grit and determination to get through it. Getting hit with a body shot is one of the worst things ever. Every fight has been through it. And he did well coming back to what he did. But like he says, he did make quite a few mistakes in that fight, and like I say, he's been and worked on them. And like I say, but that lad's a different style to me, totally different style to me. So in effect, it's a totally different fight.
Do you feel that you'll come on strong late on? Do you feel that Connor will maybe slow down towards the later rounds, and that's maybe when you'll capitalise and try and get him out of there?
I think it's going to be quite a high pace all the way through. Connor likes to have a high pace, and so do I. So I think it'll be quite a high pace all the way through.
Brilliant. And final couple of questions. Obviously, Connor, you've settled in with Tommy Coyle now.
Yeah.
you've obviously spent the last few years with Connor, with Tommy. Sorry, you feel that you've settled in now and you've learned everything that Tommy's kind of learning to yourself, teaching to yourself.
Yeah, I feel like I've always been there. It's just everything just comes together well. We get along well. It's the thing is with this camp, I've just enjoyed it all the way through. There's never been a point where I thought, fucking hell, I'm hating this. You know, I've like, although I've pushed myself in some of the training sessions, like to the point where I'm on my knees, and the spars have been like hard fought spars because you're doing longer rounds, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've just enjoyed the whole camp, and that's why that's why I feel like there's no pressure on me, because I'm going into this fight and I just want to enjoy it. I'm getting in there to enjoy it, and I enjoy it. I love doing it.
I know that we spoke, Kane, a few weeks ago, and you said if he doesn't feel the pressure, it's a bit of an odd one, like you said, in front of a sold out venue. Do you still back that statement, saying that it is a bit odd if he doesn't feel the pressure on the night?
Yeah, the pressure on both of us on the night. Like I say, it's a chance for him to win his first title and a chance for me to be two-weight centre champion. So there's got to be a little bit of pressure there. Like I say, he might not feel pressure for his own crowd and stuff like that, but there's definitely pressure on both of us.
Brilliant. Like you said, you recently settled in with Ryan Rhodes, been to Lanzarote, living it up in Lanzarote, and training and stuff like that. How have you kind of settled in with him, Kane?
Yeah, well, I've been with Ryan about a year now. Like Tommy said, like Connor said, it's like I've always been there. It's just normal now for me.
Brilliant. I'm going to ask you both for one last question. I'll start with yourself, Connor. I'm going to go with a little prediction like we always do. I know you like to keep your card close to your chest, Connor, but I'm going to try and push you. What's your prediction for the night, Connor?
It's going to be a good night.
I love that one. Kane, prediction for the night?
Same as Connor. It's just going to be a good night. We'll keep everything quiet now.
All right. Brilliant. I appreciate you both. I know that it's fight week. You're probably shifting tickets and stuff like that. And I appreciate you both for putting the time to come and do this little face-off. Looking forward to the fight. I know you both put it all in your camps and stuff like that. So appreciate the time. Best of luck on the night. And yeah, we'll see you all on the night for a brilliant fight. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, pal. Thank you. See you soon.